Just a little bit about my colleague, Gail Betts. If you haven't had the honor to get to know Gail, she is the Research and Education Librarian at the UMB Health and Human Services Library. And as the faculty librarian connected to the School of Social Work, her role is to support faculty, staff, and students at the School of Social Work in accessing the research and educational resources that we need to support all of the amazing work that happens here. We're here to celebrate Gail today because the work that she does goes so far beyond that role. In 2 minutes, I can't give you the full list of what Gail has done to support access, utilizing a disability justice lens. But I want to emphasize the following. Gail has served as an invaluable mentor to and advocate alongside numerous students and colleagues as it relates to accessibility and navigating disabled identities in spaces that were not designed with attention to the physiodiversity and neurodiversity that exists among us. She takes on this role in our school community and beyond. If you haven't read her article, Navigating the Academic Hiring Process with Disabilities, I encourage you to do so, as it brings attention to the many ways that our structures, systems, assumptions, and culture in academia unwittingly further ableism, encourage masking, and increase mental loads for disabled academics. Gail has spent truly countless hours helping to vision, brainstorm, plan, and catalyze efforts to make our social work education, training, work, and practice spaces more welcoming and accessible. She's been a faculty advisor for disability justice-oriented student groups and independent study courses. She's helped to vision and enact our accessibility evaluation and has taken a leadership role in moving forward recommendations to enhance equity and access here at the school. Gail is a founding member of the School of Social Work's Accessibility Advisory Group and has been volunteering her time to engage in training, research, and scholarship efforts to support us all in strengthening our skills and commitment to universal design so that the strengths, needs, and ways that each of us engage with our content and spaces can be recognized and uplifted. Today's theme is holding true to our values, and there is no one I know who is more committed to the work of equity and access and disability justice than Gail. So it is an honor to present the Judith Heumann Award, which is named for a fierce disability justice activist, to Gail Betts. And I'll give you that person. I wasn't gonna cry. So, thank you everybody. When I applied for a job here in 2013, the job ad for a successful candidate for a librarian for the School of Social Work required a current driver's license. So, with low vision, I definitely do not drive. You're welcome. But I read the other requirements and thought, I don't think this job really requires that you drive. So I applied anyway. The library ended up waiving the requirement. And now, we review job ads to think through if a requirement might unintentionally exclude disabled folks who are otherwise qualified. A few years after that, I attended the Social Works big all-school event, which had at that time a diversity component. This was years ago. The event was held in the ballroom at the campus center, and I was seated in the back. The person who organized this particular event, again, years ago, not you all, played a diversity-specific training video that had no audio, only visual speech bubbles above the heads of the actors. So I had no idea what was going on. Afterwards, I had an informal conversation with Dean John Schaefer on how inaccessible the whole event was, but in particular that video.
She then started including me in conversations about accommodations and disability-related working groups to improve accessibility in the school. She hasn't been able to get rid of me since. Now, like Samantha mentioned, we have a formal accessibility advisory group, including Dean Schaefer, Samantha Full, Julia Scott, our MSW student Chris Fogarty, and Dr. Gietler, and myself. We've worked hard to establish trainings for folks in the school on accessibility and universal design, and generally raise awareness on disability justice. I personally have seen so many improvements, from people sharing materials ahead of time in a bunch of different formats, to asking me about my preferences for how I receive materials and how I guest lecture at classroom spaces when I come for library orientations. So, as disability justice advocate Alice Wong says, accessibility is an act of love. Improving accessibility in the school and in the library with the support of my wonderful colleagues is a way that I can show love for other people with disabilities, and is one of the best ways for me to feel loved and appreciated in return. I'm grateful to so many people here for showing me that kind of love over the years, but especially Don Schaefer, Samantha Full, Amanda Lemming, Julia Scott, and there's my Celeste John. And of course to my wonderful library coworkers who are sitting back there, for their unwavering support since they hired me for that first time in 2013.